Hey guys, welcome to Redchair Productions. I'm your host Mason.
And I'm Grace, and today we're going to be with Cameron and Josh. How are you guys?
I'm good.
I'm good, thanks.
And today we're going to be talking about documentaries. I hear both of you have your own documentary to talk about today.
Yep, definitely.
So first we're going to start with Cameron, talking about yours first. Give us a brief summary of what your documentary is about and why you did it.
Well, I decided to do mine on tattoos, mostly because I've just got a very big love for tattoos and just very interested in them. And I just really wanted to see about people who I know who have tattoos and why they got them and the story behind it, just out of interest.
Where did you get your interest for tattoos?
Well, I don't really know. I think I've just always had one, but not a tattoo, an interest. But I think it started, my dad's got this quite small one on his back of the name of a Buddhist monk, because he was really into that when he was young apparently. And that's where it started. But I've always just had a slight interest for the design and the just the style and the vibe that tattoos give.
And in your documentary, you talk about people's personal opinions on tattoos. What are your personal opinions on tattoos?
Well, I love tattoos. I think that they're just really awesome way to show an interest in something or a respect for an artist or just the design of them, just the look. I've always just loved that, and I really wanted to expand on how the other people's opinions have changed over the years and just see what they are and just get a big grasp. And
would you get your own tattoo?
Yeah, I've got a few of mine. Unfortunately, I'm not 18 yet.
Well, a few of your own tattoos on you? Or?
No. Yeah, I've got a few in mind that I want to get, and sort of designed, and some of artists that I love, and just I want to get those when I'm 18, hopefully.
So would you ever get a tattoo, say if you're on a lad's holiday and you got really drunk?
No.
Or it would have to have meaning?
That annoys me when people get the holiday tattoo. And if it's something they want to remember experience and they thought about this tattoo and they've researched the artist and stuff. But if it's just they're drunkenly got one and it's of a smiley face.
Yeah. Josh, what are your personal opinions on tattoos? Would you get one yourself? Would you?
I like the idea of tattoos. I probably might not get it myself because I think if you would like to get a tattoo, you have to be sure if you want to get it.
You want it for the rest of your life.
Because it affects you for the rest of your life. Yeah, exactly. And you don't want that. You don't want to regret doing it when you're older, really. Having it in the first place, because you might just. Is it not easy to remove tattoos these days? So.
Yeah, it's a bit of a hassle to remove a tattoo once you put it on.
It's more painful to remove them than it is to get them put on.
Well, with laser
and it's a lot more time as well. It's not just
it
one
takes
thing.
a good year to get rid of something like that.
Okay, well, we're now going to go on to Cameron's documentary. We're going to see a clip of that right now.
What are some of your tattoos of?
So my tattoos are all of things I've achieved in life. The sleeve on my right arm is all the artwork from an album that I released. Things related to my wife, marriage, fulfillment of life, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's a real mixture.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's going to be a half sleeve.
Half sleeve.
Which is like from here to here.
I don't know. The 50s, they did have quite a lot of tattoos, especially the rockabillys, the boys and the girls. They had them on their arms, and they were quite statement pieces. And today, I think that's kind of come around. That fashion's come back around again. So I think back then, obviously, people that have had tattoos, they had to cover them up for work and stuff. But nowadays, I'd say it's a lot more acceptable.
Designs, modern examples of an age-old custom which has literally left its mark on mankind. They're on show at one of Britain's oddest institutions, the Bristol Tattoo Club.
So that was a quick clip of Cameron's documentary. When we watched the documentary, we noticed that you went more into the history of tattoos and people's opinions on tattoos.
Rather than the actual design of the tattoo.
Why did you do that?
Well, I thought it was interesting how tattoos have now become quite stylish and quite common in our, modern culture. So I wanted to explore, what people who had tattoos and were surrounded by that sort of what's I'm looking for, environment.
Yeah.
What they thought about it, because I felt like they know a bit more about than I did, because I don't have any tattoos. If people still judge them as they did back then.
So would you say the documentary is more an eye-opener on different people's opinions?
I wanted to because my mum is completely against tattoos.
Yeah.
And I wanted to sort of not educate, but broaden what those people saw and see that it's just more than just a tattoo; it's an art form. And I just thought that'd be really interesting.
Yeah, because you do hear about not the older generation, but people older than us sort of disliking tattoos.
Well, in the documentary, it's quite interesting. One of the people said that it's generational. Like the really old generation from like the 50s and 60s are fine with tattoos because it was like army based. But then our parents in their 40s and 30s maybe, more of them are against it, and then the younger generation are for it again. So that was quite interesting.
Okay, well we're actually going to go into another clip of Cameron's documentary right now, so you can check that out right now.
Would I have it done for art's sake? No.
People who are currently in their 40s or 50s, potentially early 60s, it's not so common.
Like everything, fashion has waves, and I think it will go out of style.
To literally style your body, which is what you're doing.
And that was another clip of Cameron's documentary. So just before we move on to Josh's documentary, was you pleased with your final product? Was you happy with it?
Yeah, I was definitely happy with it. I mean, there's a few things I'd change, but overall, I'm very happy with the result.
Well, nothing turned out.
Well, the sound was a bit off. I had to re-record some stuff, but I mean, you get problems with like that for everything. But I mean, I just worked around it, which you have to do. But other than that, I'm pretty happy with it.
Okay, now we're actually going to move on to Josh now about your documentary. We're going to in a minute show a clip of your documentary, but give us a quick brief on what yours is about.
So it's about my grandfather and what his time was like during the war, from his perspective, because he was on the German side. Yeah, so it was different then. Yeah.
Was that quite hard to film?
It was quite hard to film because obviously it's quite an emotional topic.
Yeah, we're going to quickly go to a VT of it.
Okay.
So, to start off, I was born in Kozak in Germany, what used to near is East Germany, and the Russians are there. Everybody had to go in the Hitler Youth, if you wanted it or not. It was just the same with the father. If he didn't belong to the Nazi party, he wouldn't get a job, and he wouldn't get any money from the government. So I had to pack my clothes, never did get home on a holiday. I had to go straight to Munich. It was the SS tank division in Munich, and I went there with it. So this is my story now. I'm retired. This is all. Thank you for listening to me.
And that was a little bit of Josh's documentary. So obviously it's quite a hard subject to talk about for both you and him. How did you approach wanting to do the documentary on that subject?
I think it's something he was quite interested in because I've been speaking to him quite a bit about wanting to do a documentary about his life story because he's getting to the elderly age of 90 now, and I thought it would be a good idea to capture what he thought about his life. So I managed to interview him, and I just had a chat. I had a chat with him beforehand to ask him if he did want to do something like this because he thought it was quite a good idea. We went into just his conservatory, and we just I set up the camera, and he just talked and talked and talked. And I just wanted to get the most out of him, really, of what his life was like.
Yeah, all the detail.
Were there any moments when filming that it was just so hard that you couldn't, like, there were so many moments that you couldn't film because it was such a sad time? Was there any moments like that at all?
I think there was quite a few moments because we had to stop it during the interview because he got quite emotional during the middle of it because it was all talking about how he had to deal with when he got captured during the war. So it was quite emotional because he was talking about the violence and how the gun he had the gun pointed to his head. It was quite really getting to the point where we couldn't really film. It was really emotional.
What would you say what would you say the big message was that you were trying to tell or show people in your documentary? Like, was there a message or something that you were trying to show?
Yeah, I think the real message was that he wanted to bring out that not every person in Germany at that time wanted to fight for Hitler, and he wanted to bring out the true story of what him as he was captured thought during the war. So yeah, afterwards, and what he recollected of it, yeah, to show his memory and show the good side of what he thought. Yeah. So
I suppose it's interesting because we only really hear about our side, and we don't really get much about the Germans.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's a bit of a biased opinion. Obviously, when you're learning about it in England, you
Yeah.
get sort of a stereotype of what Germans are like.
Is that what you were trying to show people an insight on the other side? Is that what you would say you were trying to do?
Because usually, in this country, you usually just get the English stories from English veterans. So I wanted to, show what it was like to people who live in England who've just seen war documentaries about English veterans.
Yeah.
Because that's why it's usually biased. Because they only see that side and not what the people of Germany went through during the war.
It's a whole different story in a way.
Yeah, it's a whole different ball game. Yeah.
So that was your main thing to do. You wanted to show people that side.
And
Well, we're going to show another clip of Josh's documentary right now. So here you go.
That no such undertaking has been received, and that consequently this country is at war with Germany.
If I would tell you my lifeline, my history over my life, I'm now 90 years old. I was born in Kozak in Germany, and I came over to England as a prisoner.
So that was Josh's documentary, and I hope you guys took that into heart about what he was talking about in this documentary and what he was trying to show to everyone. Now we actually have Alantina as a new guest. How are you today, Alantina?
I'm okay, thank you.
Okay, so we're actually going to talk about your documentary as well today, and just give us a quick brief explanation on what yours is about.
Well, my documentary is about the history of Michael Jackson and James Brown's music careers.
Okay, is that something like those two? Are they special to you in any way? Do they inspire you in any way at all?
Yes, they've been a great inspiration to me, and they kind of taught me a new way to write songs.
Oh, so you write your own songs, do you?
Yes.
So it's because of them that you are wanting to do your own songs and you wanted to do what you do?
Yeah, they gave me a new inspiration, but before that, before I knew them as well, I started writing songs and singing when I was probably about age 12.
Okay, well, we're actually going to go into the VT of Valentina's documentary.
A brilliant example.
And that was a clip of Alatina's documentary. I found the documentary quite interesting. Obviously, everyone knows who Michael Jackson is.
Yeah.
How did you actually go about trying to find clips to put in your documentary that people would find interesting and relevant to it?
Well, I actually watch a lot of it in my spare time, so it wasn't too hard to find clips that I thought were real highlights of Michael Jackson's career.
So you just thought back to things that you've seen before and you just wanted to add that into your documentary?
Yeah, I've just been completely amazed by some things like Earth Song, Jam, and Bad, and songs like that. And I kind of took clips from those that I'd seen before. Yeah.
You said you write your own music. Obviously, as you said, like Earth Song, Michael Jackson had such an influence on the stuff he wrote and the messages he put across. Do you do stuff like that when you write your own music?
Yes, I really try and do that. I just love he brought real magic through his music, and I'd love to do that through mine too.
Is there any, for you, Cameron, is there anything about Michael Jackson or James Brown that you have an interest in? Or?
I prefer James Brown to Michael Jackson. I don't dislike Michael Jackson. It's just James Brown, I know he's created some amazing drum beats in his time that have like influenced music like today. And you know, it's just, you know, they're very great musicians and they've completely changed music forever, really.
Yeah.
You said that they've influenced you in how you write. They've taught you. I don't understand what you mean by that. How did they change? I'm just interested.
Well, especially Michael Jackson with his choreography and his costumes. He's you know, given me a new way to write music and to perform. I'd never seen another performer do that before. I'd never seen anyone like him.
Definitely.
Would you say that Michael Jackson's trend, for instance, would you say that you know, you take after that? Would you?
Yeah, I'm very inspired by that, and I try and make it my own.
Because obviously, I mean, you're inspired by it, but you've got to make it individual.
Yeah.
Because there can never be another Michael Jackson, but
yeah.
there's got to be someone who's, you know, just as good.
And in your documentary, did you have any problems afterwards, or is there anything that you would change looking back at your documentary if you could do it again?
Well, there was a few editing faults with the sound.
Yeah.
But apart from that, I don't think I'd do anything differently.
I think everyone had a bit of a problem with the sound.
I was going to say, every person we've talked to has just had some problem with the sound.
Would you say that, well, what problems did you have about filming your documentary?
Besides the sound.
Yeah.
Well, besides the sound, I didn't actually have some, you know, iconic people I could really interview. Would have been great to maybe interview say someone like Quincy Jones and how he produced Michael's work, but I didn't have access to him. So.
No, surprised you did. Yeah.
And how long did it take you? Because I know a lot of the other documentaries, they'd like interview people and film their own clips and use clips of other performances or other interviews. How long did that take you to all put together?
Not as long as I thought, actually. I found most of all it was quite easy to edit it.
Mm-hmm.
How long did it take you?
I can't remember exactly how long, but
yeah, because I remember taking me quite a while to
easy.
Put together clips, and mine was only 7 minutes, but yours is a lot longer than that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're actually going to show another clip of Valentina's documentary, and you'll be able to see the problems there.
It's a really brilliant example.
Okay, and that was Valentina's documentary, and so finally with both of you, what would you say was the biggest, I don't know, the hardest problem that you had with filming your documentary?
Both of us?
Yeah, both of you.
I think it's definitely getting the right people, because obviously we're both only students, right?
Yeah.
So having a professional, like people, like you wanted people who like knew Michael Jackson.
Yes, that would have been great.
I wanted to get some actual tattoo artists in, but both of us only, you know, our first proper thing.
What would you say was the best thing that you liked about having to film these documentaries?
I think it was making about something that we both love.
Yeah, just completely passionate
Yeah.
about the music, and it was wonderful to film something that we're really passionate about.
Yeah, filming about tattoos, and you film about Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
We knew both obviously knew a lot about those subjects,
Yeah.
so we just did what we knew.
Well, thank you for being here. It's been really nice to talk to you.
Thank
I
you.
hope everyone else enjoyed it.
Yeah, I had a good time.
Yeah.
Well, I hope.
Yeah.
Well, I hope that everyone.
Just enjoyed it.
Yeah, we did enjoy it. Yeah.
Were there any before we close the show? Is there any future projects that you like to talk about that you have going?
We have a final major project coming up. I've got a few ideas for that. Do you have any ideas?
Yeah, I'd love to film a music video.
Yeah. I want to do like a sort of like a documentary archive video thing. It's hard to explain, but yeah.
Would it be kind of the same style as you've done your documentary?
It'd be, yeah. I mean, yeah, I think so.
Okay, so that is the show. I hope everyone enjoyed it. Thank you to Cameron, Valentina, and Josh. So see you later.